Hello. Welcome to another episode of We Have Issues. I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And I'm Anthony.
And we have a special guest this evening.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nick, also known as NJ Alexander. Nice to see you all.
So every week, Anthony, Nick, we all get together and we try to push through and solve our own issues. Currently the project we're working on is Deathless. It's like a supernatural comedy action powerhouse awesome comic that we're working on. And recently we have finished drawing and writing issue 2. Anthony, I know you wanted to get some things done this week.
I'm doing nothing this week, Steven. I'm not part of the show this week. It's all about you and Nick, and I'm just hanging out.
Let's go.
You know what it sounds like to me, Nick? Sounds like we have a failure on our hands right now.
Oh, no. We have a failure?
We have a failure.
Okay, listen, I colored
Anthony
a little.
failure.
I colored a little bit. You want to know what I did? What I did is I created and sent out every backer survey that we have for Kickstarter. Sent out every single one. You just Steven, imagine this for a second. We have Kickstarter backers, right? There was one group of backers who had one thing, and I had to send out a survey for that. And then there was another group with different stuff, very similar stuff, but different. And I also sent out a separate survey for that. I did that several times, Steven. And let me count the times for you. I won't do it because it was so many that it would just take everyone's time.
It was the most backers we've ever had for a comic so far, right?
I had to do a lot. So yes, I did fail at coloring a little. But
dude, you are golden. Anthony, going through all those surveys and getting people to get that information for me so I can actually finish some of the artwork. You got me some of the pictures I needed to add into the book, which I did. I actually sent one of the people where they're at in the book, because that page has been shared before. And I wanted to Mustache Guy is unfortunately gone. If everyone remembers Mustache Guy from page 5, he was a temporary placeholder for whoever was going to be in the book. But I got quite a few pages colored this week, so we are making amazing headway on this book. Are you excited to send it out?
Well, I can't freaking wait. So I just want everyone to know. Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, Nick, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. We can't wait to get to you. Nick's an awesome writer. Also, we're not supposed to talk about his podcast. He told us specifically not to mention it, but it's great. It's one of my favorite things. He's no. But Nick's an awesome guy. But I want to make sure everyone understands what's happening right now. Okay, we've done 153 episodes where I lead the way, and I'm like, I'm doing this. I have this book here. I write down everything that happens in the episode. I plan everything. But this week, Steven, I'm going to New York. And you want to know what I get to be in charge of in my New York trip? Nothing. I have no responsibility. No, I'm not going to be able to control 1 second of that. I'm going to be in a wild, crazy city that you don't know. I probably won't survive. And just knowing
country folk can't survive, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people are like, oh, the city's going to chew you up and spit you out. They're specifically talking about me is the thing.
Yes, it will.
I feel like, first off, you need to be looking out for Ninja Turtles.
Okay, hang on. Steven, I know you're in charge of this, but we'll get to that because I need you guys to guide me through. I need you both because you have.
I want everyone to know, if you're tuning into this week's episode, I'm doing my best, but you got to understand that I am usually the sidekick of these shenanigans, and my fearless leader Anthony is leaving it up to the wild card, which is a very poor choice on his leadership. So really should reflect his decision making and not mine. However, tune in the 152 other episodes if you want some quality hosting capabilities where I am just, I'm a better Robin. Okay.
You're amazing. Okay. You know what? You're incredible. You're the leader of the book. You know what? Yeah. So usually I have the torch. I have the conch. So hang on, Steven. Okay. I have my torch. This is our torch.
Are you going to metaphorically pass me the torch or physically pass me this torch?
Steven, I'm a writer. I do appreciate subtext, nuance, metaphor. In this case, screw all of that. I'm physically going to give you this torch, buddy.
God. The torch is mine.
Whoa.
Part of me really, really, really wants to hand the torch off to the guest and have a crazy episode where the guest just hosts the episode.
Steven, what are you doing?
Okay.
Why not?
I'm just gonna pass the torch over to our guest real quick.
Giving away the powers, the mistake. I should never have done this.
And then I'm gonna take it back. The guest didn't receive the torch.
I never got the torch. Wow.
he never
What a
got the torch.
What a tease, man. Just never actually gave it to me. Wow.
I love how I took it back from this.
I think the taking it back is my favorite thing that ever happened on this show. All right, Steven.
Okay.
Wow. This week we got a lot of our stuff done, but we have a guest. I think we should move on. Let's talk about our guest.
Because as excited as we are to release Deathless issue number 2,
yes,
our boy Nick has been. And just to let you guys know, I've personally got to put like my fingers on some of this stuff. I mean, granted, this man completely painted the picture of what I needed to draw, but I've got to play with this character that's in this book that's coming out. And
yes, you did.
And I'm like, Steven, what you put your fingers on? What are you playing with?
He has had his fingers all over my stuff.
I sculpted his. I mean, I've stroked it. I've groomed it.
Hang on. How do I
get
it?
A lot of groping, a lot of stroking.
I've handled 3 at once, if I'm honest.
Yeah, there were 3 things. It was wow. It was crazy. I watched it all happen. It was nuts.
It was insane. It was the craziest.
All right, give me this. Okay. This is ridiculous. Okay, you guys are taking it too far. I'm taking it back. This is mine. This is my torch now. This is my show. Nick, on this show, we talk about our issues and the various life issues that we have when we're creating. You're a creator. Will you tell us a little bit about the type of stuff you make? Also, Steven, I'm going to slide this back to you, Sue, after.
Okay, I'm just going to take it right back because I'm the leader of this episode, but go ahead.
All right, thanks, Anthony. So, I am a fantasy writer, typically the epic fantasy variety. And I write a lot of I wouldn't call them super high magic fantasy, but very maybe middle to low magic fantasies that sort of, if you guys have heard of maybe like an iceberg kind of theory where things generally get more and more fucked up as you go along. That's generally the kind of thing that I do.
Ease people into the fantasy scenario, basically.
Pretty much. That's
so
really
like
the majority of what I write.
It's like you take lettuce and it's like, lettuce has layers, right? Like iceberg lettuce. That's where it comes from. I'm just wanting to make sure our listeners understand.
I mean, just like Game of Thrones to some extent kind of like did that pretty well until the very, very end. But like where they slow, I mean, it's this medieval drama and then suddenly there's like zombie armies and like zombie dragons and all this, So
yeah, similar thing here, right? Like you'll start off it's like, okay, it's a pretty grounded fantasy. What the fuck is going on? It's basically my MO.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so it's the name of the book is Fogbound.
That is correct.
And yes, the cover, like the it looks great already.
Thank you.
So like this has been in the works for how long?
Oh man, it depends on how far back we want to go. Really depends.
I was born on a Tuesday. The story fresh in my mind.
You see, when I was born in 1990, no. When so this idea was brought up a very long time ago when I was really in high school. I'm 32, by the way. When I was in high school going into college. Yeah. I wrote the initial draft of what is now Fogbound when I was 19.
Okay.
I was 19. It has gone through a lot since then. And every single sequel is actually already written as well. Was written way back when. But very recently I decided to tear them all up and rewrite them from scratch. And Fogbound is the new title for I play a lot of video games. I'm calling it the remastered edition.
Beautiful. I mean, as long as it's a Nintendo remaster, we're good.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So it went through a lot. Like when I tell you that this book was bad, it was bad. Like I probably axed somewhere between, I don't know, 50,000 words or something. Didn't make the cut into the final version. It was basically a word for word rewrite of what I did for it.
So basically you were in the world still, but it's almost like you were just shifting entire villages, character arcs around. Like you can play in the sandbox that you've created for years, but you're going to change a lot of the story elements and the beats that you were going for maybe initially are going to alter to something that's more cohesive.
We're changing the sand to lava. This isn't going to work. Same box though. The box is great.
Box is awesome. I'll actually give 19-year-old Nick a lot of credit. The plot progression of this first book was actually not terrible.
Really?
It was the writing and the words itself that were really bad.
So he gave you a nice like skeletal, put some meat on these bones and
yeah.
Awesome.
we'll say the meat was very tough, very chewy, wasn't very good, but now it's like a nice medium rare.
Oh,
I will say.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a totally new name. I renamed every single character. I gave it all like a totally new just refresh. And that's where we are today.
So we were actually commenting on this ourselves. Because we have known each other on Twitter for forever, but we've never really interacted like in such a way. So is it pronounced Xerxian, Zerk?
So it would be the first one, yes.
Xerxian,
and his nickname is Zerk.
Zerk.
However you pronounce it is totally okay with me. I was thinking lately because I've given some arcs out and people have misspelled his name in various different ways. It's very entertaining for me. They've all misspelled it actually mostly the same way. So I'm like, should I have spelled it that way initially? Everyone seems to be spelling it that way.
This is the way that's catching with the people. So maybe this is how it's
no, whoops.
So my first guess was actually very much based from Pokemon because Zacian, the fairy type. But no, it's different. It's different. I'm just saying the way I knew how to enunciate the sounds. It was because I knew how to say that. But Xerxian is much different. I mean, Zacian, you're good. You're good on that front.
No, I get it. When
it is Voltaire, right?
Voltaire, but close.
So Voltaire very much to Volcarona from Pokemon. Right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He can't help himself. He's just like, all right,
Volcarona should have been a legendary if we're on it. But anyways, continue. But listen,
I love Volcarona, but anyway, I could talk about Pokemon for a long time.
Absolutely could too. Anthony could participate.
I could.
Anthony could hold his own.
Yeah.
But so I mean, the Fogbound obviously follows him. He's the main character of this book, correct?
Yes, he's the main character. There's I wouldn't call it for an epic fantasy book. I wouldn't say the cast is like incredibly large, but there is a main group of characters that follows him around, his friends, some allies, but he is really the focal character. Some other characters get some POV chapters throughout the book, but it really does follow Xerxian's journey.
I feel like because I was reading some of the sample like when I was at work, like in between jobs and stuff, and like there's that whole like battle sequence with that general or like that knight or warrior who has obviously the big bad that I'm guessing is going to be in the book. That's kind of like almost like Emperor Palpatine behind the scenes.
I would say that guy. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's what that's as far as I was basically getting. And first off, I want to say it was like I was like I'll read a few pages and I'm like, Ricky's already stopped. My partner's already stopped the truck. He's like I'm like, oh crap! And
sorry.
I have to rush out, get the tools, and like we got some. Yeah, of course it was definitely captivating me. So it seemed it's a very interesting world to me already. So and it seems like you've built up like. You got some pretty good following behind this. So like, how excited are you to release this to the world?
I'm really excited. I'm fucking terrified. We're going to be totally honest, but I'm really excited. Everybody that I've met, like you guys and everyone else who's supported me, either it's on Twitter, real life, whatever it is, everybody's been awesome. Like people asking me about it. Steven, like what you just said, be getting comments from people who have read samples or the arc saying, oh my God, I love the start. Oh my God, I love this. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. It's
great so far, man. You're doing a great job. Like I want to know what's happening, why this is happening with like the soldiers and like this, whatever magic is afoul here, basically.
Thank you.
So yeah, but so I mean that's exciting. I mean, I remember when we were releasing Play It Again, how nerve-wracking was that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's still like every time someone's like, "Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll read that." I'm like, "Oh, please like it." If you don't like it,
right?
This is literally a whole chunk of my soul.
Yeah. Weird and like I don't know. Like I kind of like spin. I know we're not supposed to have opinions on like reviews and reviewers and all that stuff. People are like, we're not allowed to talk about it. I personally think that that 1-star reviews are indicative of someone who's not very self-aware. Like if you're leaving 1-star reviews, it means that you don't know yourself well enough to choose a book that you're at least gonna like a little. That's like because like for the most,
you should be at least middle of the road, right? Is what you're getting at, basically.
Because like I mean, a 1-star review, it's like okay, look, this book is just like riddled with like just punctuation errors, like spelling errors, all kinds of like nonsense. And just like poorly written, maybe, but like, because 1 star is just pure trash, like you wouldn't give one, so it's,
But Play It Again was about some dude's breakup and like horrible traumatic past, was trying to vibe out on some zombies. Worst shit ever, 1 star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we got like 9 1-star ratings on it.
Yeah.
0 reviews attached. So we couldn't even understand, like, it was like, all right.
That's always tough.
It's weird, right?
The 1 star, but
But then you get like these glowing reviews where people are saying like these really kind things or like really interesting, and like people were really affected by it. So I'm like, well, that's really nice to hear. But now I'm just waiting for the other ones to show up.
You do get really the full like spectrum of what people who really connected with the work, and some people who thought, the hell is this? Why'd you publish it? Why did I bother reading it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's
how
like,
dare you waste my time, good sir.
Which, by the way, Play It Again is not a waste of time. It is a beautiful, beautiful story. I love it. Oh,
Thank
man,
you so much, man.
But yeah,
absolutely. And Deathless is great too. Everybody should get this. It's fantastic.
How do you get that torch from my house, though? Is what I'm wondering.
You didn't see me running through the back there.
I mean, he has taken over.
Really
I think he was so fast. I mean, like, he must have had prep time. But
that's right. Lots of prep.
Lots of prep. So yeah, the book is releasing soon. When's your actual physical release date for the book?
All right. So the book is coming out in October. Yes. The official date, not quite nailed down yet, but it will be early to mid-October.
The beauty of the future is that book, you can decide that date when it's ready. Like,
absolutely,
print on demand is a glorious freaking thing.
Right,
first of all, right. Like that's a beautiful thing that could not have happened 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But
I know, right?
So you're basically saying like a nice fall release. Like the air is going to be chilly.
Yes.
That's like a good month to read Fogbound. But this book's coming out. Yes. You're excited.
I am.
You know Twitter has your back.
Yes.
So are you going to be joining any other podcasts that we know that you're going to be maybe?
Yes. I will be. I will be joining Don't Make It Weird.
Ooh.
I'll be joining them sometime soon.
So so you're doing your Twitter tour for this.
Do my press tour. Yes.
Your little press tour with your friends and family from Twitter. Right. So that's exciting. Is there anything else you want to add about Fogbound before we make you play a few games?
Ooh, okay. Anything else I want to add? Yeah, I'll say, to anybody who wants to check it out, I still have some advanced review copies available. Cool. If you'd like to check it out, please either let me know, fill out my form, whatever it is you'd like to do. I'll be sure to send you a copy. I will be taking the form down soon. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to this in the future, well, sorry, it's probably already down. But if you're listening to it now, please feel free.
If you're listening to this in the future, you should be buying the damn book because the book's out.
That's true. That is very true.
And now
I will say about Fogbound, there's a what I feel I do very well is the character and the plot progression. So if you're looking for a character-driven work with a lot of very unique perspectives on the world and what's going on, with a couple of zany and lovable side characters thrown in throughout the journey, then I think Fogbound is the book for you. Oh, with a little bit of magic, I'll say too.
Dude can sell a book, man. I wish you should. Whenever we come up with a comic, like a new comic idea, like the first couple episodes is us like fumbling the.
It's a book. The guy's gonna look like either me or Steven. Don't know which yet.
We alternate. We're gonna start changing it up very slightly.
The next one is just gonna be like this.
It should be a fusion.
It's gonna be a fusion. We're gonna.
It's gonna be like AI artwork just gets progressively more like this, like a monster. It's just...
well, now I'm picturing Anthony with Steven's hair, and I don't.
Ooh, we need to do this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So check all the links below for all of Nick's stuff. We're going to have all of his stuff there. Steven, I'm so interested in some of the stuff I know we're going to be talking about. So what should we do? What are we doing first here?
Ooh, so like, I feel like the ice spiders, like I don't know anything about ice spiders. Me
too.
And I'm super interested in ice spiders, but I feel like maybe we should do Comic Conjectures first. So
hello. Sorry to cut in, but I just wanted to take a second to get your attention. Because I know that one of our friends, our friend Jeff Schiller, he's been on our show before, a comic book creator. He makes this amazing book called Magic Powder. If you haven't checked it out, go check that out. First of all, it's freaking amazing. It's like one of my favorite indie comics I've ever read. It's just like Jeff Scheller has this really cool way of like mixing genres and just like making things that are just badass, but also just like unique in a fun. I don't know, it's like I just freaking love it. I love everything he does, and I just happen to really be a big fan of him, and I want everyone to go check out his books. And right now, he has a book that's live on Kickstarter. It's called The Elf with No Name. It is a fantasy Western genre book, and it's like a combination of like Lord of the Rings and like Deadwood, or like, you know, it's just like it's just like that. It seems like it's going to be such an awesome freaking story, and like his characters are always so cool, and the worlds that he crafts are always so in depth. So if you're interested in like fantasy or westerns, or just interesting combinations of genres, or just supporting cool indie comics, go check out The Elf with No Name. It really could use a boost. It only has about 2 weeks left, a little bit more than 2 weeks, and it hasn't met its goal yet. It freaking needs your help. So if you have $1 or $2 and want to read a cool book, go check it out. You can also get some cool magic powder stuff as add-ons or whatever you want. Like if you're like me, you get to you put your face in the book. You get to be a character in this cool Western book, you know. So go check it out if you can. It would mean a lot to us. He's been a really awesome supporter of the show, and like a friend of ours, and we want to make sure that everyone goes and checks out their his stuff when you can, because we want to support everyone as much as we can, and we're all trying our best out here, and what good is it to build a colony if you're not like bolstering and helping each other as much as possible. So go help out Jeff's book, The Elf with No Name. It looks awesome. It's amazing, and I hope you show up to support it. Now, back to our amazing guest in the awesome segments that we're about to do, because holy crap. But thank you.
I feel like this segment has been nice, and I think we need to go into some conjectures, and then we need to blow their mind with the ice spiders. Here,
let's do it.
Temporary torch pass to you, Anthony, just for
got it. Here.
Just for the book.
Got it.
And then you can pass it back when we do the monster.
Okay. So I have this book. Every once in a while on our show, we play a little game we like to call Comic Conjectures, in which we go through the DC Comics encyclopedia and we find characters we've never heard of. You might have heard of them. The game that we're about to play isn't necessarily about getting things right. It's about having fun with unknown comic book characters. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this encyclopedia. We're going to find a few different characters we've never heard of, and we're going to try to guess what their powers are, if they're a hero or a villain, and like maybe who they fight. And we're going to talk about their origins a little bit. Then we're going to see how wrong we are and realize that we just created a character together. So yeah. since we have a guest, actually, you know what? Before we get into it, Steven,
we got to do the song we do every week.
I almost forgot because I didn't have the torch, and I didn't feel that power. Now I have it. It's coming back. Let's hear the song.
It's time for Anthony, Nick, and Steven. This is the theme song every time they play Comic Conjectures. Ching.
That was
nice.
Well, it's literally the same. Your name is in every week's episode. It's weird, but
it's crazy. So it was
just really a huge Mandela effect thing that's happening right now.
Okay, so Nick, you're a guest this week. Every time we play this game with the guest, we let them choose a letter. So you choose the letter. Any letter will do. I'm gonna say I'll say that, but I will say X is not a good choice.
Avoid the letters that don't sound like they're good choices. Q, X, Y's probably. Y might be okay.
Y might be okay.
It's sometimes a vowel, and that's the problem. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm stuck between two letters, and when I say one of them, you'll be like, "Oh, this guy's clever." Let's go with F.
Right.
F. I like F. I feel like F's a strong choice.
It is.
All right,
it is.
Maybe like a phantasm or like a. I don't know. See, the reason why we choose DC in particular is I actually love Marvel, know very, very little outside of the mainstream for DC. So like
me too. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, pretty much every character in DC.
Okay, I got one. That's perfect for this, because I also don't know this character at all, and it's just perfect for what we're doing, especially with your book. The character's name in the DC Comics encyclopedia is Fog.
Ooh, Fog.
Fog.
Okay.
This is a real character in the DC Comics universe called Fog. So we always ask, first of all, what's your first impression of Fog? Are they a hero or a villain?
Are they a hero or are they a villain? I'm gonna go with they are a villain.
Okay. What do you feel?
Fog does sound ominous. I kind of vibe that, but I always, if you, and you can probably go back to any episode, I always play the safe route. I feel like Fog is like not quite a bad guy, but not quite just like an anti-hero, like a Venom situation.
Like I like to play both sides, so I always come out on top.
Yeah, basically I'm macking all over this. And I feel like Fog is ominous, but it's not like, like, because Fog could easily be like this cancerous, like crazy mist that he shoots out. He could be like a horrible Riddler type villain, or he could just. I'm gonna go full villain with Nick. I'm gonna have to side with him here.
Let's go.
You need to stop playing it safe. I need to put my pieces on the board.
We're going up. Nice. All right, full villain. Fog is a villain. So Nick, do you imagine that Fog has some kind of powers? What do you think?
Funny. Okay. I don't know why. Well, okay. So when you told me the name of a character is Fog, I just thought of like some dude in like a gray suit just jumping in the air and just like evaporating into like some kind of mist, and that's his power. That's what he does.
So he can disperse himself. He doesn't really like.
That's all he does.
My first thought now is like, it's like what we do in the shadows. He goes bat. He just says bat. And becomes a bat.
It just becomes Fog.
Yes, I love it. That's what I'm going with.
That's what you're going with. Okay,
Batman, but Batman came prepared, and he has a vacuum cleaner, and he's just sucking that fog up.
It's over.
Oh my god. Okay, so I guess my question is, so he's a villain. How does he use this power to make people rue the day they met Fog?
Okay, so he only targets people who have really old cars that don't have fog lights. Makes it really hard for them to drive.
They just have a miserable experience.
It's terrible to mute home. That's what he does.
And every time he does, he's like, "It's a living."
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
You got your Jokers, you got your Doomsdays, but you need Fog. Okay, you need Fog in this damn universe.
He's like the villain of minor inconveniences.
So I'm gonna alter his power. I feel like depending on the era in which Fog was created, I feel like they go for that, Fog, like not the actual mist, but like he has like telepathic or powers that can fog the mind. Like he can cause like, almost like Scarecrow or like Mysterio, like manipulative effects is what I'm going for. And I think he like fogs people like out and then steals or does whatever criminal thing he's gonna do.
So okay, I looked up Fog. Let's get this answer. Are you ready for this? Number one, you guys totally nailed it on the villain. Not only is it a villain, but it's Fog is paired up with another character named Night. Night and Fog are siblings. Listen to this, given superhuman powers by Nazi scientists.
Holy
so they're
shit.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, basically, is what you're telling me.
Essentially. But
wow.
So Night projects sensory depriving blackness from her hair, and Fog transforms himself into a noxious fog-like mist.
so Nick got it.
Like that's nailed it. Like, yeah. They were literally created by Hitler and his scientists to just be terrible, and they are, and that's
So now that I mention it, though, by the way, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver actually were in the comics were mutants. So did Marvel Cinematic Universe steal that concept and put it into the movie? Because they were definitely Hydra experiments in the movie. So that's interesting. But man, it's so great that our amazing guest Nick got it like right on the head.
I didn't feel it was that creative of an answer, but hey, you know what? If it gets the win, it gets the win.
To be fair, yours was simply to, make old people fail at driving. He probably kills people.
Not targeting old people here, okay? All people.
All people. He does it to I can effectively drive through this even without my fog lights.
It's kind of nice. It blocks out some of the sun. It was a little bright.
It's a little thick.
It was a little, I'm enjoying that. The smell isn't great, but it's also not bad. It's
true. It is noxious. That's true. I didn't get that part. It is noxious.
All right, Nick. So do you want to stick with the same letter, or do you want to choose a new letter?
Let's choose a new letter. All right,
Good
let's
thing.
see.
What do you got?
Let's go with O.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Let's see what we got.
Osteoporosis, man.
What I should have done is just pick letters really far away from each other, so Anthony would have to spend time flipping through the book really far.
You should put A and Z.
You see me every single time. A, B, DC, I hate Nick. Why did they do this? I feel sick. Like, what?
My mind went somewhere else with that rhyme.
Haha, my name rhymes with funny things. Oh, I've never heard that before.
Oh man. So like my last name is Todd, and the kids in school, and I didn't even look like a toad, but they would just say Steven Toad. Like I don't look like a toad.
No.
Yeah, Steven. That was the clever, like, oh, your last name's Todd. Not like anything.
I just like the idea of like cutting back to like 2001 and Steven School is going ribbit. Like,
why is that kid ribbit in class?
Why are you ribbiting? Ribbit. Steven,
turns out I had the hiccups a lot back then, and they called me Steven Toad. And I didn't realize it.
He turns toward the camera and he says, "Call me Toad."
It just cuts to like someone watching our podcast. I love this episode. Ribbit, Steven. He's like, wait, he doesn't remember what we called him, Steven Toad. I gotta call their hotline. Oh wait, they don't have one. I won't comment.
Just the idea of like you being upset about it, but not remembering that you created it.
It just cuts to me like on a lunch table, like hopping. I have no idea where I got this stupid nickname.
Oh man. Okay, Steven. So I found one with an O. Nick, I found a character called Onomatopoeia, which has to be the coolest character in DC. I'm imagining it's the best character in DC.
It better be.
Yeah. So okay, but we asked Nick last time. Steven, what do you think first? Hero or villain? What are you going with?
Onomatopoeia is definitely a hero.
Right?
Has to be maybe possibly a fourth wall breaking hero too.
Okay.
Like Deadpool's more of an anti-hero, but like Deadpool like is maybe not necessarily. No, he's got to kind of be aware that he's in a comic, right? If he's making use of onomatopoeias,
well, unless what if he realizes, what if it's a character, right?
Oh,
what if it's a character who is kind of like the Green Lantern, but instead of like imagining weapons and stuff, he's just like boom, and then explosions happen.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like
he's pretty awesome power.
Like if he looks at someone, he's like pow, and that person gets punched in the face, and like whatever he says, it happens to them, but he has to like create the onomatopoetic sound of it.
Whoa.
What's his name? Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
Dude, if he had that power, he would literally be the Superman of our universe. So onomatopoeia produces. So you're saying like produces the sounds. Yeah, I feel like that's really all his power could actually be, right? Unless like, do you think like he can like take the wind out of other people's sails? Like when Batman like punches you and it says kerpow, it doesn't hurt because he just like can negate the actual effect of the onomatopoeia. So there is no.
I like the idea that it's just a dumb like one-off joke. It's just like, so when Batman punches someone, it says pow, and the pow has a little like voice like bubble, and it says, "Yeah, take that, bitch." And just like it's one literal onomatopoeia that there's like, look, we love it. We let him keep it. It was like Dave needed that joke, and his wife left him recently. He needed to put this joke in there.
We needed to squeeze this in there for him. Yep. What do you think, Nick? Do you think he's a hero or a villain?
I think he is a hero, but he is strictly comic relief.
Strictly, yeah. He's not the main dish. He is.
I think it's like
he's not even potatoes. He's not even potatoes. No. He's like peas and carrots.
Yeah, he's like the stuff where like we really can't eat every single piece of it, kind of, and gets thrown in the trash. But
you have to take a couple bites, otherwise mom gets mad.
That's right. That's right. And like that's why I think his power is in kind of an opposite version of what you said, Steven. He does for comedic effect. Whenever something happens, he says what happens. There's an explosion. Oh my god, an explosion.
Oh my god.
That's what he does. Purely
That's awesome.
For comedy. That's it.
That was boom.
That's right.
Like all it is like whenever he's in frame on the panel, the onomatopoeias have like an arrow going to his mouth instead of just being like the it's like a word balloon basically. Yeah. But
I like that. That's fun. I like that a lot.
Onomatopoeia is a villain.
Oh damn! We're really hoping for you.
He's a villain in Green Arrow, and apparently, the only way he expresses himself is with onomatopoeias. The last sound his victims hear is his imitation of a noise made by the weapon he's about to murder them with. So whatever he does, he's like, Chris Blanc or whatever, so like it's he doesn't have any powers, but he murders people. But specifically who he murders are third-rate costumed heroes and assorted vigilantes. So like he goes around.
He targets people that are inspired by the actual heroes, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like that's he I guess he can't be like an assassin or something, right? Because you'd be like really terrible like assassin if you went up behind someone, you're about to kill him. Stab.
Could you imagine though? Could you imagine being a vigilante, knowing that this guy named Onomatopoeia is basically a serial killer, right? And then you're like walking the streets, and then you just hear like, what? Oh my god, what's gonna happen to me?
What's gonna happen to me? I mean, first of all, that was drowning for days, right? Like that's.
It's actually turkeys. He's
actually turkeys.
What's gonna happen?
That's awesome.
I love that he's essentially like the Jeepers Creepers creep, but with sound instead of music. You know, just like you just have to figure it out. Oh, it's gonna be weird, whatever it is.
Man, did that sound get made when you punched that guy, or is that my death coming? Like, what's happening?
Right.
That's amazing.
What a weird character.
Is that a weird character though?
Yeah, Nick was like
weirder than Fog.
But you were kind of on the pulse with what he could do, actually. It was like the opposite dark, sinister version of that. Like,
right.
It was not comedy relief. It was actually horrifying.
Yeah, it's intense. But yeah, so we love playing that game because we learn about characters like that exist. And it's kind of cool because you see this new, like this renaissance that's happening with these unknown characters, you know, like the Peacemakers and the, you know, like the Suicide Squad and all the, in the Guardians of the Galaxy and all this.
What was it, Polka Dot Man, or what was his name?
Yeah, Polka Dot Man was in it. And but we learn about that, and then you can see like you could take those characters and just do interesting things with them. Like Onomatopoeia could be an awesome character. I guarantee you, with James Gunn driving that car, we're gonna see Onomatopoeia at some point. It's gonna happen. He's
possibly even Fog.
Yeah,
right. Maybe in the same movie.
Maybe even. They're oh my god, Onomatopoeia.
Fog's like, I'm gonna kill you. He
makes like the no.
It's like,
are you sucking him through a straw?
Is that a shock vac? What's going on? This guy is sinister.
All right, so Steven, that I love that. I love that game. That segment's so much fun. Our next segment, we're gonna be talking about this. This is the thing. Like when you said we're gonna have Nick on, I was like, I know Nick he's an excellent writer. He's a wonderful person. Like he's awesome on Twitter. He's a great podcast host. But what I really know about him is that he actually is a master of cryptids and like mythology. He is a doctor. He has his doctorate in like the spookies. And what what he knows the most about are, what are they called, Steven?
So they are called, and I know nothing about them, ice spiders.
Oh, Steven, I can't. Okay, before we get into like his obvious expertise of ice spiders and learn everything there is possibly to know, we're gonna turn over every possible rock about ice spiders here. I need. Can you hit us with that sweet
Absolutely. The Monster Test song, the way I sing it every week without missing a beat. I got you. We were gonna ask our guest Nick about some Greek mythology, which he's probably actually pretty versed in, but instead we decided to go with his rabbit hole theories on YouTube with ice spiders. It's the Monster Test with Nick, Anthony, and Wildcard. Bam. Same way every week.
Well done.
I love
it. Done. That was beautiful.
Every time.
Well
done. Tears every time.
Yes.
Every time. I mean, not here, a little here, but you should see where else I'm crying. It's just unacceptable in polite society.
I haven't cried like that since I was 17.
I'm gonna go take a trauma nap after this song. So Nick, we are so interested in this ice spider situation. I've watched a movie called Ice Spiders, did not know they were based in actual fact. So I need you to explain what exactly are ice spiders, how did you get into them, and why did you fall in love with them?
Okay, so I don't really know how I found this ice spider footage at first, right? But then by the point where I started questioning why I started learning about them, I was in too deep, honestly.
Yeah, always.
That's
You're
how
stuck
it goes.
in the web.
Dude,
you're frozen.
Don't you just love those though? Like at the same time, as much as I hate it, I love it. Like someone just says like 3 sentences in a row that you can't disprove in your head, and you're like, this guy's on to something. I can't readily disprove any of those things. So let's take a deeper dive.
All right. So ice spiders. It all has to do with the conspiracy theories revolving around Antarctica.
And I'm guessing all like the tech down there with like the
yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. There's all bunch, if you're any versed in any sort of strange internet lore, you've probably heard something about conspiracy theories in Antarctica. And there's one of them where there are these creatures that scientists, the government do not want us to see. The first footage. Yeah, like this is real.
It's real, man. It's not AI generated or CGI created.
Not all of that.
Right.
Clearly real.
The first thing I saw about these ice spiders is someone was saying in this video, there's one route that people in Antarctica need to take to get from one point to another or something like that. They have to go through this one route, and there is one area where they're not allowed to go. This is where these creatures live, because if you go far down there are these giant spiders who live in the ice. They're called like spiders. They're spider-like, but they have 5 legs.
So it's probably more like another crab evolution is what you're telling me.
It may be more of a crab.
It's going to be a crab is what's going to happen. It will be.
It may be more of a crab. I preferred ice spider over ice crab as a name, but they think they might be more crab-like than... I know Pokemon, Crabonable. Yes, absolutely. Those guys are living in Antarctica.
That's
but
exciting. Anyway,
so there are these giant things, probably the size of a human or maybe even a little bigger, and have quite some length to them as well. And they will kill and eat people if they traverse through this area of Antarctica.
So us and the other ice spiders got together and we've decided we like human. We want human meat.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So the scientists allegedly, they unearthed this creature. It was buried within the ice in the massive hole, of course, that's at the center of Antarctica.
There's always a hole.
There's always a hole. and these creatures came out. And now, but the person who allegedly discovered them, they are not allowed to speak of it. Apparently, a man in black came in the night and said, "You are never allowed to speak of these things."
And now, Nick, I want to tell you, right when we're reading about the hole and the man in black, that's when your mind was like, he did say a bunch of stuff that sounded good, but this sounds a little fishy. And then, but this is what they do, man. Right after they say that fishy thing, they hit you with 3 more facts that make sense, and then it's like, no, these ice crab spiders are totally real.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know who the man in black is. There has been men in black.
But that's what the men in black do. Like the movie made it seem like, oh, they're just cool. They wear suits. They drive around using special technology. Nah, they just try to discredit you by making you sound bonkers. They show up with a baby and they lick a goat in front of you, and they're like, "Don't tell anyone." They pop a balloon and they disappear. And it's weird. Yeah.
Wild. It's wild. Because Steven, you're so right. Because this Antarctica stuff is obviously it's not true. But the thing is these people make right. I'm cutting that out. But obviously but these people make up these theories that are just so wild and out there. You're just kind of cool, actually.
I like what you're doing.
Right.
Right, and we have that natural wonder in us, right? Like we want something weird to happen to something that we can control. It's far enough away to where it'll never affect you, so you want to believe in it even more because guess what? You can just enjoy this thing from far away. Like, this thing is real, and in Florida, I'll never have to worry about it. So the Florida man that has to fight off alligators and pythons and sharks.
I think the Florida man is something the ice spider probably does not want to mess with.
Doesn't want any part of. I wouldn't think. I mean, we're good.
Yeah, our blood is boiling year round. If
you're made of ice, Mr. Spider.
We need you. We consume you for our comfort.
I feel like a Florida man would take an ice spider as a pet.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a story that comes out at some point.
We would get a
Florida man arrested for
going
to
sand
Antarctica.
Spider here, though, right? Like it'd become like a regional variant. Like
that's right. A regional variant.
Yeah.
A lot of Pokemon references on this episode.
Got to drop them when we can.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna jump because usually on monster tests, what we usually try to do is we have some knowledge of a creature and we try to basically create the mythos behind it. But man, I know nothing about ice spiders and I want to learn about them. I don't want the man in black to take this information from me.
Now, I don't know if they're officially a cryptid yet. That's something I'm not sure of. I'm not sure if you're, if you're a cryptozoologist, you know about I'm not really sure. But if you dig deep enough, now there is not a lot of info, but if you dig deep enough into the dark recesses of YouTube, TikTok, all that, you will find these ice creature conspiracy theory videos. And I mean, they are quite entertaining. I won't lie.
They always are.
Yeah.
So like, and when you brought up ice spiders too, like my mind immediately went to Northrend, like World of Warcraft. Like I was imagining the giant ice spiders in the cave. I can actually still hear the sound effect as I accidentally aggroed like 3 of them. But like, I was worried that ice spiders were gonna be like tiny spiders that have like bites or something. But no, they are the full on like
big
crypto monstrous. Creature.
They're monstrous, like you can't go near them.
Possibly sentient, maybe.
Possibly, yes. It's like kind of like if you were to run into a polar bear, it'll just kill you and eat you. Yeah, that's basically.
So
what
ice spiders are polar bears with legs, like they like put like legs on them, and they're like really scaring people.
I love the idea that it's like a centaur crab with a polar bear up, like it's like
oh my god,
polar bear top body, crab bottom body with claws.
Dude, you just created the coolest. I got to draw that once I'm done with Deathless too.
Yeah,
like,
please do. Yeah, please.
The polar ice crab, like the polar tar. Arachna bear, whatever it needs to be called.
Arachna bear, dude, I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. No, I freaking love this. I think it's so interesting how people like the internet. It's what's like best and worst at is like they create these like these fictions that we want to live in or don't want to live in, but they're thrust upon us, and we're like, what do we do with this information? Is it real or not? Like I went down a rabbit hole where I was on TikTok recently because I'm trying to post on TikTok more. And I saw someone commented on one of Steven's videos, like the Nolan Rogers ghost video, and they were like, oh, have you seen this pantry ghost? And I was like, I've never heard of pantry ghost in 1997. Let me go look this up. So I look it up, and there's a 19-minute mini documentary about this thing called the pantry ghost. And there's this guy, and he's just like every night at 12:34, 1, 2, 3, 4, the pantry in my kitchen just opens up. He's like, it just opens up. So he starts filming it, right? And he's filming it. And so then he's like, I'm going to film it all the time because this is really weird. It's, like I've locked it. I've done everything I can. It opens up. So suddenly he's filming it. He's like, he films it all the time now. And you see hands. So it's a pantry it's a normal wooden pantry door. Like it's like a bedroom door looking thing, but it has a glass front for a big chunk of it, like a big rectangle of glass, right? And you see hands go against the glass from within. And at first he's like he freaks out. He's like, what was that? And then it disappears. And then he goes up to it and like eventually he films it again, and it eventually happens again. And when the hands go, you see a face get close to the glass. And and then as it like dissipates, he walks up and he opens the door and there's nothing there. And he like looks inside, and it's really interesting. Now, I watched the video 17,000 times, and I was just like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm watching it, I'm just like, I'm gonna figure this out. And I did. I think he's
gonna Velma this shit.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I got it. Like, I think I understand what happens. Okay. You need to watch this video though. If you haven't seen it, no matter what, it's a cooler version. It's a cooler found footage, like Blair Witch type of thing. This person made a super believable pantry ghost, where it's like you watch it and it's super believable. It's on YouTube. You can see like the 19 minutes. You kind of like, I'm sure there are like best of clips, because some of it's a little cheesy, but like I'm pretty sure what he did, like if you watch the video, is someone's in there. I think it's his daughter is in there, puts her face like up against the mirror, up against the glass, and then I think she ducks down because if you watch it carefully, you'll notice he's always filming high. And I think what happens is she ducks and crawls under him, and then he pans down. So it's really well done. It's just timed. But like, and I watched it, but I'm pretty sure that's what he does. I think but
smooth enough of a transition to where you don't even second guess it.
No, because because you imagine it's all very natural and it's really well done. If you watch it, it's super well done. Like so much so that the first few times I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is a fucking ghost. This is a ghost. This is a ghost all day. I believe in ghosts now. Like this is like it's so well done though. Like if you haven't seen it, go check out Pantry Ghost. But my whole point is it's so easy to fall down those rabbit holes. And if you don't have an extra hour to rewatch a stupid video or look things up, you're like, yeah, that's believable enough. Ice spiders, why not?
Yeah, why not? Right?
They're part of my things to avoid Antarctica for.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Spider.
I mean,
wow. No. Penguins good. Ice spiders very bad.
Yeah.
Except for the super penguins. The what?
But
No,
we're not allowed to
super
talk about them,
penguins.
Steven. The Men in Black have shut us down twice already. Every time you bring up super penguins.
Teenage
You
Mutant Ninja Penguins. We're bad guys, though.
Wait, Steven, who's their splinter?
It's a seal.
It's a seal.
It's
No,
a
no,
blind.
no. It's seal. It's just.
I was gonna say, is
seal
it actually
singer.
seal? Yeah.
He's like
Master, why do you always want us to be kissed by a rose on a gray? What are you saying?
because
Don't
there's a leaning tower alone on the gray, children. These words still don't make sense, seal.
Oh my god.
Are you, Master? Are you saying on the grave? No one will know until the internet. Like, wait, what?
I'm gonna say a bunch of words that seem nonsensical, and actually, even after you find the lyrics, after Google is invented, you'll still not know what the hell I'm talking about.
All right. But that was a lot of fun to Monsters. I can't wait to look up more Ice Spider stuff because that's just it's so interesting.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But Nick, before we
Yes.
do our goodbyes and everything, will you tell us a little bit about your podcast and tell the people like where they can find it and what it's all about?
Sure. So I am part of the Goddamn GameCube podcast. We are a video game podcast where it's not really a review podcast, but we talk about certain games. We have 25 episodes a season. We give really our critique, our deep dive opinions into various games,
Nice.
various genres. Really anything is fair game, new or old. We like to mix it up every single season. Now, just if you allow me to gush a second, the podcast was created by my younger brother, and his friend Riley. And they've really done like an awesome job with this podcast,
incredible.
right? They've released it's more of an audio show. Yes, run YouTube at Goddamn GameCube, but it's mostly an audio production. So you'll find most of the episodes on Spotify or wherever you hear your podcasts.
Cool.
They got their Spotify stats last year. They're in the top 5% of all followed podcasts on Spotify.
That's amazing.
One of the top gaming podcasts. Like, people reach out to them about the show, all the comments they get. It's really an awesome experience. I do more of I'm on a handful of episodes per season, but I'm more of like a production guy. You know, I make the YouTube videos and all that sort of stuff, make the thumbnails and whatnot.
The
But,
awesome
no,
older brother holding down the fort for younger.
That's
brother.
right. Damn right. That's right. But yeah, it's kind of like an older brother proud moment for me, where my brother really did have this vision, and he and his friend really did create this awesome podcast that is getting more and more viewers by the day. Currently in a break. We're in our mid-season break. We play a lot of games per season. So we take a few months off between
seasons.
But season 5 will be starting sometime soon, probably in September-ish.
Amazing.
So on the lookout.
So check out Goddamn GameCube. I have a question though, since it is a video game based podcast.
Yeah.
And you're younger, I feel like it's going to be a different opinion than mine.
Uh-oh.
But
all right.
Consensus, I'll just say you, because I don't know if you know your brother and his friend, right? You said,
Yes.
What's your favorite Legend of Zelda game?
Ooh, okay. Favorite Legend of Zelda. That's an interesting question for me because I haven't played a ton of them. I'm not saying Zelda's not my thing. I'm not saying that. I've played a lot of older ones. I haven't really touched the newer ones.
So you're kind of in my ballpark right now. If you might say the right one. So
I might say the right ones here. So I mean, it's funny because I actually didn't play Ocarina of Time until maybe 3 years ago or something.
Get out.
But I know. But okay, listen, this is why. Because back when I was young, my brother is a year-ish younger than me. He played a lot of them and I watched while we were young. So I kind of experienced everything about Zelda games through him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
and
I never
the Zelda
actually
games
played-
are fun to watch anyway.
Yeah,
They're like the game you can kind of follow.
Yeah, exactly. And I gotta say, I think Ocarina of Time, I know it's the basic
Really?
answer, but it's probably my favorite one that I've played. I played A Link to the Past. I played Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and I do have a soft spot for Link's Awakening.
So Link's Awakening, solid.
Yep.
You can't deny Ocarina of Time and even Majora's Mask. I love those two games very much. But A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds for me, it's quintessential Zelda.
Yeah.
It is exploration. It is the top down. It's like it has its OG elements, but it has amazing item gathering and all that. And those are by far A Link Between Worlds. A Link to the Past has always been my favorite, but A Link Between Worlds is one of the best like reskins on a game ever. So
I have heard that, and I did play A Link to the Past. I like it. I think it's awesome.
Play A Link Between Worlds. It'll complete. I mean, it's everything A Link to the Past did. It's that and better.
All right, then I'll have to do that.
So Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Anthony, what's your favorite Zelda?
Steven, I've never played Zelda.
Anthony.
What's your favorite Mario?
Oh God. Oh man, that's a hard one. I
know. I always go to 3 though. Like I always go to 3.
I think 3 is probably my favorite as well. I think it's when it like found its sweet spot. But like honestly, I'm a huge fan of like the newer
the new ones, all the
platforms. The side scroll ones. There's a new one coming
3D
out.
World. What's weird? I mean, I don't know how many sequels there have been, but
yeah, it's nuts.
Super Mario RPG is getting remade too. Dude.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Let's go.
So Anthony still has to edit this beast of a thing. So I'm going to throw the torch back to our host who knows how to end things properly.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, dude. If you haven't picked up Deathless, go check out www.wehaveissuespodcast.com. You can get Deathless issue 1. Probably the torch. You can have the torch.
You can be the host.
You can be the host of the show. But Nick, it's been incredible talking to you. We'd like to give you just however long you want to just like tell the people where they can find you, get them hyped up for your book, tell them where they can find your book and that kind of stuff.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. It's been awesome being here. I've had a great time. So you can find me over at Twitter or X, whatever you want to say, but Twitter at Nick A. Writes. Same username across Instagram, now Threads, Twitter, wherever. When my book is released, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it. It'll be it'll be on Barnes and Noble, wherever you buy your books. Online, at least. That's where it'll be at first. If you're in the Massachusetts area, you may see it in some independent bookstores sometime in the near future. Yep. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get in the next few weeks or so. Hopefully pre-orders will start rolling out. So yeah, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, wherever you buy your books.
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, it's been so much fun talking to you. I'm glad we got to do this. I'm like the Ice Spiders thing was hilarious. I thought the Comic Conjectures went really well. It seems like how do you feel? You feel okay? Do you want me to delete everything in this episode and we'll start fresh? What are we gonna?
Yeah, actually, if you could just leave in the parts where I talk about myself.
Okay,
and that's
just edit us out, and then it's just Nick. just Nick responding to basically nothing. What I'll do, Anthony, what I'll do is I'll get up and you can just film a still shot of my man cave, a still shot of your room, and it's just Nick talking to nothing.
I just monologue about ice spiders for 20 minutes and nobody says anything.
No one's egging it on, nothing. It's just
I just keep offering information.
So ice spiders.
That's right.
But
Nick into a YouTube conspiracy
theorist. That would be amazing. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, thank you. Go follow us on Spotify. Listen to every single episode. Check out Nick's podcast. Check out all the links below. Everything's down there. Just know that we love you and we're thankful for you. It's late as heck, and I'm gonna go edit this freaking episode so he's gonna have it in the morning. Because I'm a dad and I have to do all the schools. It's school time, guys. It's school time. It's my life. My life has been out of control. I'm also going to New York. We didn't get to talk about that because Steven had the torch and I didn't bring it up, but it's okay. But next week, I'm going to talk.
Next week's episode is going to be the New York episode. And
next week's episode is going to be, let's see if Anthony survives New York. I don't know. Anthony.
Are there Vegas odds for that? Can we get in on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's Anthony takes Manhattan. Not looking good for Anthony.
Not looking good.
Not looking good. It's like Jason Voorhees is going to kill me somehow. He's going to find me. But
you're going to McAllister that shit.
Thank you again, Nick. I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And I'm Nick. Thanks, everybody.
This has been We Have Issues. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Boom.
I should have thought about this.
I should have thought ahead. I should be prepared for everything. I should be Batman when it comes to podcasts.
How much prep time do I have? The answer is never any. It's the thing. I get no bad. All of those arguments are so dumb only because no one gets prep time. We just get meteors dropped on our faces and we have to deal with it. Just like
Batman's just like, how much prep time do I get? None. Bam. And that's why Bane was the one character that broke his back, because Batman got no prep time.
That's right. Nor should he. That was the most realistic issue of Batman ever. That one, and whenever someone shoots him in the mouth, because how has that not happened a million times? Like, he
aim for his mouth. No, you can't aim for my mouth. That's unfair. I'm the hero of this book.
Okay, so like he has that bat on his chest. I should keep aiming there. Oh yeah, keep aiming there forever. Like, well,
it's not bulletproof. There's no way.
The bullets not only ricochet off of it, but seem to go enter me every time. And I shoot it, I get hit.
I mean, if we shoot it enough, it has to lose its bullet reflecting properties, right?
At some point, it has to have. There's no chance it's just going to keep. It's happening every time. It just keeps happening.
I'm gonna shoot him in the mouth. If you ever say those words again, Johnson, you're fucking fired.
It does, like, that is one of those those movie moments where someone's like, "What did you just say?" No, say that again.
Say it again.
Genius. You know, like how in the world that's never occurred to anyone? You know, it's oh my gosh. So I mean, we'll get into it in the episode, but I'm doing very little in this one. So I let Steven's taking the wheel in this one.
Is he?
It's all Steven. Steven is driving this
basically we're gonna hit you with a monster test. Well, you have to help with the Comic Conjectures, because
I'm doing nothing, Steven.
Anthony, I don't have the DC encyclopedia. I mean, I will be your Google slave when we don't know something in the book.
Come get it.
Oh shit. What is that?
We need to set that up so we can do that. It's very. I want to do this and have you,
and then have a copy.
We can do it with Deathless. We can like.
Oh my god!
Do I have a copy somewhere? Because hang on. I want to do this.
He's gonna do this. He's gonna do this.
Oh my god! I can't wait.
Why have we never? We're like on episode 153, and we've never thought to do something like this.
153, huh?
I think so. We're far. I know. We've been every week. We've never missed a week.
Never missed a. Good for you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Steven, we're gonna practice ones, right? Steven, we finished issue 1 of Deathless. Like, actually, wait, I don't think you have here. Have this, buddy.
Okay, thanks, dude. Dude, it is so cool. You held it up too.
You know, if you guys want to do something really stupid with that, you can like throw it, and I'll be like, "Wait, what the?"
And then just go get
that I have right here.
How did it get over there?
That's amazing. I don't know. It's ridiculous that we've never done anything that dumb. And
I was just saying that when you were getting up to get it, I was like episode 153 or whatever it is, and we've never done any video gags.
Oh, you're failing us, to me. You're failing us. You're failing us.
Well, you just edit this part out,
I'm gonna
and now we go.
This part out, Steve. Jeez.
But then what you do is you bring up the Conch. You go back to Lord of the Flies.
Okay, so